Handcuffed, bitch. That's what you gonna be. Handcuffed, bitch. That's what you gonna be.
Oh man. Well, that is Miss Nikki Refuting.
Anti-Afro Spengalis. I, of course, have to come on here to address something that's very important. There was a public accusation made against me, and it's not something that I could ever let go by without addressing. Before I do that, TCTV, this is about you, the public accusation, and I'm going to say to you before I go on, it has not been forgotten that you participated on a regular basis on those attack panels. You said many things about me and the people I care about that were derogatory, that were vicious, that were abusive, and they were untrue. I have to put that out there to make sure you know that I have not forgotten about that. I just have to put that out there before I move on to the accusation that you leveled against me. You stated a couple of nights ago, because I'm just now going through these clips that were sent to me, that Glorione Murray was an anti-fraud warrior. And when she was an anti-fraud warrior, she looked up people's information, people associated with you, and gave it to me. Okay, first off, Glorione Murray was never an anti-fraud warrior, ever. She reached out to me. She initiated contact with me, as do so many people. Thereafter, she received a few emails that were non-critical, non-confidential. The information that I sent to her, I already stated it in public. So there was nothing confidential. She turns around and gives those emails, starts giving them out in public. So I cut her off. That's the extent of my relationship with Glorione Murray. She continued talking shit about me, and I had to take care of business with her. That's the extent of my relationship. At no time did I ever consider, was I ever approached, did I ever approach her or anybody to look up information on any person. I have access to a great many databases in my line of work, because my line of work requires that I have a very high level of trust placed in me, and I would never, for any amount of money, violate that trust. But if I ever decided to become a criminal, then I can be a criminal on my own. I wouldn't need to ask Glorione Murray to help me become a criminal. That's ridiculous. So your statement is false. I don't know where the hell you would ever get your gumption to make a statement like that. That is a total and complete lie. Now, what I would ask you to do, since you brought me into something I'm not involved with, but you made the statement, why don't you go ask Glorione Murray or put the question out there in the universe? Glorione, have you ever looked up anyone's information you shouldn't have been looking up? Glorione, have you ever asked anybody to do that for you? Because her level would not allow her to access information directly. She would need a supervisor. I don't need a supervisor because I have a high level of trust that's been placed in me, and I've never accessed anyone's information that I shouldn't be accessing. And proof of that is audits are run on a regular basis on people who have access to sensitive information. And if you are ever found to be looking up someone, no, not if, when you are found, because they will find you, you are going to be severely punished. That is a federal crime. So what you accuse me of is a federal offense. You accuse me of violating federal laws. You have absolutely no reason, no justification. And this is the kind of crap that I'm talking about. But you should go ask Glorione Murray if she has ever done that on her own. Has she ever asked anyone to do it for her? Put the question to her and leave me out of it. I have got nothing to do with any criminal behavior. None whatsoever. And speaking of criminal behavior, why don't you ask Nikki Proctor Waldon if she's ever made any statements about looking up people's records, or has she ever looked up anyone's records? In particular, why don't you ask her if she's ever looked up the Smokes records? See, this shit's out in public. So why don't you pose the questions to the people who have either approached others, they've done it themselves, or they came on and they threatened to do it? I'm in none of those categories. If I ever did anything like that, I would have been prosecuted. In all of these years, nobody has ever accused me of any of this craziness. Those are the people who go off. They're so reckless in what they say and do. They just say anything. And yes, Nikki Proctor Waldon did say she can look up the smoke and get his records. Has she actually done that? Why don't you ask her? These are things that they are saying in public. Don't associate me with criminal behavior. You have no evidence that I've ever even considered or participated in criminal acts. If I need to do anything with anyone that's bothering me, I'm going to use the law in a legal manner, such as notifying authorities. Do not associate me with criminal behavior. And this is not a slam on anybody who's reformed in their previous acts. I'm talking about actively engaging in criminal behavior, because people have actually come on here and stated that they're criminally minded towards me. That is what they are saying. That has got nothing to do with me. It doesn't matter what anybody says or does to me. They're never going to get me to commit a criminal offense as retribution. That is not my alley. Talk to Glorione Murray about that, and talk to Nikki Proctor Waldon. So if anybody wants to come on here and say, oh, you're making up lies, if Nikki wants to claim that I'm lying on her, let me know. Put it in the comment section if she comes out and says she never made that statement, because I have it on audio. I don't come out here just talking and saying any damn thing like they do. Don't associate me with criminal behavior. I resent that. It's disgusting. It's vile. And it is absolutely nothing I ever considered, nor would I ever consider. It doesn't matter to me what anybody says or does. I will never use criminal behavior in retribution towards any person. I don't need to do that. These people are incriminated themselves all over the place. Why would I even have to consider stooping to the level of criminal activity to do anything? I never would. I never have. Do not associate me with any type of behavior. Those are the questions when you go on these panels the next time, when you want to say shit that has absolutely nothing to do with me. You have a correction to make directed to the people who actually brag about shit like this, and they've done it in public. People, make sure if you ever hear somebody accusing you of a criminal offense, you have to come out and you have to defend yourself, because these people will take this stuff and run with a lie. And they need to ask Glorione Murray why she's not working. Put those questions to these people. These are things that she said in public. She said it. And I'm not going to say anything else about what I know about the situation, but she's talked about it. Pose the questions to the people who need to have the questions posed to them. Don't pull me into stuff that I have absolutely nothing to do with. I am not friends with Glorione Murray. I never have been friends with her. I've had no relationship with her. I never have. I never will. Same with this Nikki Proctor Waldon. Keep me out of the criminal endeavors. In the meantime, people, you know the drill. Buyer beware.